Episode 5 of RWBY Volume 5, named Necessary Sacrifice, is just as I thought. It's mainly focused on Menagerie and what's happening in the state of affairs there. We do see a little bit of, what Team Ranger, Ruby, Oscar are going through, but it's mainly focused on Menagerie and what's going to happen there. Now, if you haven't seen the episode, what I'm about to say is going to spoil some of it, so you may want to wait till next week or watch it on Rooster Teeth first. Basically what's going on, Blake and Sun are going around trying to get signatures and more volunteers to help out to go to Haven and defend Haven from the White Fang. And, as with most movies, TV shows, and everything like that, when you're going around trying to collect signatures, it never works at the beginning. This has happened in One Piece, in various other shows and anime that I've seen, and it just never works well. At least at the beginning. In a lot of series, they eventually get the signatures, but it doesn't look like they're going to now. And then after a day of that, we find out, as Sun and Blake are talking, we find out some more information about Blake. We find out that she often sees people that she's close to as personifications of certain words. For example, she identifies Ruby as purity. Weiss she sees as defiance. Yang as strength. And, Sun, she says, not really sure about you yet, but she's leaning towards earnest. But when it comes to Adam, she at first thought he was justice, then thought he was passion, and now sees him as spite. So it's a little bit of character development for her, and it also, blatantly says the core characteristics of those specific characters in the series and what they actually personify. But she also says that Ilya is not like Adam right now, and she wants to help Ilya the way that Sun helped her, which just goes to show that this show has some really great themes involved with it, and this is sometimes you just need to be there for a friend even if they don't want you to be. That goes in so many walks of life and in so many different things that it's just fantastic that they're putting these themes in here, because not only is this series amazing in and of itself, but the fact that it's portraying this kind of kinship between people and support between people and all these different things, it just makes the series that much better. We then cut to Team Ranger, or mainly Ruby and Oscar, still training, trying to get better in hand-to-hand combat. Oscar's actually training with his cane, and he's improving at a drastic rate. Of course, because he's got Ozpin and his thousands of years, I suppose, of experience inside of him. And it'll be interesting to see when eventually their souls meld together. But Oscar kind of confronts Ruby, just like, how the hell do you do this? You have people trying to kill you. There's a war on the horizon. Like, world's going to shit right now. And Ruby blatantly says, I've lost people. When Beacon fell, I lost Pyrrha and Penny. Pyrrha went into a battle that she knew she wouldn't win, and Penny was made a martyr, a sacrifice, just to get people riled up. And she says that her motivation is essentially thinking of what they would do, that they wouldn't stop fighting, they would keep going, and that's what she wants to do. And then, that kind of gives Oscar a little bit of a boost. Ozpin chimes in just saying, she's struggling with all this too, it's not just you, you're not alone in this, just keep pushing forward. The most important bit of information comes at the end of the episode. We see Corsic and Finnick in a room, dark room, candlelit room. They just received a message from Adam Tauros, High Leader Adam Tauros. So he's taken full control of the White Fang, as we learned in the last episode, but it's widespread and he is actually in control. It doesn't look like there's any resistance from the White Fang to him being in charge. They expressed a little bit of concern about the message, but before we could learn what their concern was, Ilya stops in, and she asks, what's going on and everything, and they tell her we have new information from High Leader Adam Tauros. So she said, okay, everything went well with Sienna. Yes, it was a necessary sacrifice. Ilya blatantly says, well, okay, it was a necessary sacrifice. Corsic and Finnick are, of course, happy to hear Ilya say that, because they say our new orders are to get rid of Blake's family. They plan on killing Blake's family. And they need Ilya for this plan to distract Blake, to lead her away, so that they can take out Blake's mother and father, because they were prominent features in the White Fang, and they are the ones who posed the most opposition to Adam Tauros being the new leader of the White Fang. And with them gone, they're kind of hoping that... I'm guessing they're probably going to try to make this in a way that, the humans are responsible for killing them, so that everyone from Menagerie will hop on board with the White Fang, but I have a feeling it's not going to go that way. Once Ilya leaves the room, we actually get to see the message that Corsic and Finnick received from Adam, and he just blatantly looks pissed off. He doesn't have that calm demeanor that he normally does. His actual orders, we find, were slaughter all of Blake's family, because... And he says, I have a promise to keep. And we saw at the end of Volume 3 that when he stabbed Blake in the stomach and, took Yang's arm, that he promised Blake, I will kill everyone that you care about. And so, that's what he's aiming to do, is to take care of Blake's family. And honestly, I have a feeling that at least one of Blake's parents are going to die, and I'm guessing it's probably her father. Her father's probably going to sacrifice himself so her mother and Blake can get away. So it's looking like this volume is actually going to be a pretty dark one. We're going to see a character that we've gotten to know a little bit, Blake's father. We're going to see him actually die. And that kind of makes me think that the actual attack on Haven might not happen until next season, because I have a feeling that that's going to be a little bit more of an intense battle than what the Fall of Beacon was, because this is going to be essentially a full-on war. So it's going to be interesting to see what exactly they do, because this is episode 5, and normally we get around 12, 13 episodes in a season, and there's still quite a bit of time before classes resume, which is when the attack is planned to take place, is the last full moon before classes resume, just so that they can wipe out all the academy and Haven and everything, get the relic, get the maiden, all that before all these students arrive again, and then they have a whole bunch of hunters and huntresses to watch out for. It'll be interesting to see what exactly happens, because next episode, I'm guessing, is probably going to be focused again back to Yang and Weiss, and what Raven actually has to tell them, because in episode 4, she said, okay, Raven told Yang and Weiss, you need to know the truth. You need to know why you should not trust Ozpin. So we're going to find out the other side of the story, which might sway Yang or Weiss's opinion. We don't really know what exactly she's going to say and what that's going to entail, but it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen. And everyone's going to reunite, most likely at the end of this volume, Volume 5. And I don't know... Well, actually, they may not. It may just be that finally everyone's headed to Haven, because Blake and Sun, they're probably not going to head to Haven until that attack takes place on Blake's family, and at least Blake and Sun have to run and escape. I really hope it doesn't end up that, Sun actually sacrifices himself for Blake's family so that Blake can get away. Because, Adam did say, everyone that you care about, and it's obvious that Blake does care about Sun. So, I'd really hate to see him die, because he's a great character, and there's still a lot more that we can explore with him. But, that could also happen as well. I could see Blake's father, even Blake's mother, if they succeed in wiping them out completely, and even Sun possibly dying. Because the main four, RWBY, Weiss, Blake, and Yang, they're not going to die this soon in the series. That's not going to happen. But since Volume 3, we saw that they are willing to kill off characters who had been main characters, aka Pyrrha, in the series, then that could easily happen. We've gotten to know Sun for many volumes now, and he could end up dead. And on that happy thought, I think I'll end the video here. You know, if you like these videos, make sure to hit subscribe. Videos will be out every Sunday, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.